paper, please. Pencil and paper, please. So, last week I was talking about, is there opportunity? Is there an opportunity? Are there properties that are selling? Are there properties that are listing? So last week I told you that there was 3,226 properties taken for the week. This week it went down slightly. There were 2,775 properties. For the week, not the month. For the week. That means there were almost 6,000 pieces of property listed in the last 2 weeks in the CRMLS. Some of those should have, could have been yours, right? Say yes. Yes. That's number one. Number two, there were pendings. Last week we said there was 2,295 properties that sold, that went pending for the week. This week it dropped dramatically. It went to 2,216. 2,216 for the week. So what did we drop? 70, 60, 75-ish? 75 less pendings the next week. There were still 2,200. So, in the last 2 weeks, not the last month, but the last 2 weeks, there were 4,511 properties that went pending in escrow. Pretty cool, huh? Some of them were ours. Some of them were your transactions. So, congratulations for making those, some of those, yours. In the last 2 weeks, we had 2,377 properties show up on the expired list. How many listings did you approach? How many listings did you, expires did you approach? How many expireds did you call? How many did you go see? There was 2,377 of them. The point I'm making is opportunity is gigantic. Yes or no? Yes. Absolutely. The opportunity, and we're going toward the what? End of the year, and we have great opportunity. The opportunity's never been bigger because the numbers are there. Those are the numbers. They're not my numbers. I didn't pull those out of the thin air. We get those every single week from CRMLS. They just, whatever they are, they come to us, we put them in the category, and we have those numbers actually tracked for probably the last 18 months, every single week. Those are deals out there you should be doing, opportunities, if you would do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. So, the question is, okay, Neil, so what should I do? And the answer is? Work. Oy vey. And the answer is I should do a 5-5-10 every day, right? Yeah. Oh. You guys are the smartest, hardest working group in the entire valley, bar none, and I'm still having trouble having you get that point. And we just talked about it last week, huh? Remember I said I got to come up with another way to talk about this? Right? Boy, was I on target. Cinco días. Oh, is that what it is? I need to do it that way? Maybe. Cinco días. All right, 5-5-10. How do you say it in Hebrew? Jeez. I'm going to, you know, they do this. They have a whole list of welcome. You see some of these stores and these markets, and they welcome in 64 different languages. I think I'm going to create the 5-5-10 in as many languages as I possibly can. Maybe that'll help. Okay? So we're going to do that. I need your help, all right? So over the next week or so, if you wouldn't mind emailing me a transliteration of how I would pronounce it in a language that you know that I might not know, okay? Which I don't know any language, hardly even English. Okay, obviously I'm not communicating at a really high level because you're not getting the 5-5-10 yet, okay? But so then I wrote down here, well, okay, do I need to go over fact deals are being done? You know that, right?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Fact. Buyers and sellers are still buying and selling houses at this time of the year. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. In fact, there are fewer agents competing right now than any other time of the year. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, we got that one. But then the question is, so I wrote down a question. So the question I wrote down here is, do you want to be an average agent, or do you want to be a superstar agent?
Superstar.
Okay, so first of all, tell me, okay, so 6 of you, yes! Yes! I hate when my wife is right and she thinks my sales skills are not that good right now. Okay, it just is bothering me. So, you think you're kidding. So, let me ask you guys a question. What are average real estate agents doing right now?
Shopping.
Shh, what? Shopping, what else?
Sleeping.
Vacation, okay, good, what else? Sleeping in, good, what else? Drinking. I hadn't thought of that one. No. Average, so let me, before we go on, do you want to be considered an average real estate agent or a superstar real estate agent?
Superstar.
Nobody wants to go to an average movie. You don't say to your spouse or significant other, hey, honey, let's go to an average movie tonight. You say, let's go to a great movie. Let's go to something spectacular. Let's go to a blockbuster movie. You don't say to your spouse or significant other, hey, honey, let's go to a blank restaurant. You don't say you want to go to an average restaurant, do you? No. You want to go to a great restaurant. So you want to be a average real estate agent, or you want to be a great or superstar real estate agent? Okay, so that's some of the things that we have agents, average agents are doing. What else do average agents are doing right now? They're waiting for calls. Okay, that's what average agents do. Good. What else?
Thinking about next year.
Average agents are thinking about next year. Okay. Praying for business. Good. What else? What do average real estate agents do?
Babysitting their file.
Babysitting their file. Babysitting their... Let me tell you something, and I got nothing against people babysitting their children. However, if you're babysitting your children because you haven't done what you're supposed to do throughout the year to earn the money that you need to earn so that you could hire, you may not choose to hire, but you could hire somebody to help you out so that you can go out there, then shame on you. Okay, that's what average real estate agents do. They don't do what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it so that they can have what do we call options. I'm not telling you to work 24/7 right now. I'm not even close to that. Yet, the activities you will do today will help give you options in January, February, and March so that you don't have to do these things. If you need a new car, by working and doing what you need to do now, in March, when your car breaks down and you're stuck with having to go get a car or rent a car or borrow a car or pay more for a car than you really want to have to do, if you would have done what you were supposed to do when you were supposed to do it back here, you wouldn't have that problem over here. You'd have options. What average real estate agents do is they don't anticipate for the future. They don't plan for the future. They don't work on what's necessary today to have a great tomorrow so that they can have options. Superstar real estate agents have options. That's what we need to be working on. So, I wrote down here, write down the name Thomas Edison. Write down the name Thomas Edison. I wrote down one of America's greatest examples of not giving up, of a man destined for greatness and definitely not being average, was Thomas Edison. I love to take every week someone from history and just read about them and some of their traits. Because some of the traits of the great salespeople, some of the great inventors, some of the great statesmen, some of the great people in our world have certain traits that we can see and we can look at and we can analyze, and then I can bring it to you to try and convince you to do your 5-5-10 this week. Oh, this is a tough group today. So, Edison was one of the best at asking better questions. And he was quoted in saying, the biggest difference between those that succeed at the highest levels and those that live in mediocre lives are basically this. He says, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Genius is 1% inspiration. I'm inspired to do it, and then the rest of it is daily things to do. Like a simple idea. The simple idea is the inspiration of a 5-5-10. Simple. We've all agreed, week after 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 week, that if you did 5 previews a day, 5 days a week, 5 expired door knocks a day, 5 days a week, and door knock 10 houses around it, and you did that for 220 days in the next 12 months, that you would be very successful in this business. Yes or no?
Yes.
There isn't a doubt in any one of your minds. There is no doubt in mine. And yet, to get you to take that action, that's the inspiration. The rest of it is what? The perspiration. 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. He said, remember that no matter what you have achieved so far, no matter how experienced or educated you are, no matter where you come from and where you're going, you can get what you want by working hard. I'd like to continue that and say being consistent. Working hard occasionally doesn't have the same merit or value as working hard consistently does. In fact, there's an argument that says you could work a little less hard and do it consistently over time has more value than working hard occasionally on and off. You get it? Yeah. So he said hard work combined with concentration and focus will always have results. So perspire and success will come. Preview property, perspire. Learn the scripts, perspire. Go see expireds, perspire. Door knock around 10 doors around each one, perspire. I wrote down here, hard work, my definition of hard work, okay? Now, some of you would say hard work is door knocking and phone canvassing. Let me tell you my definition of hard work. Digging a ditch. Any of you that have ever had to dig a ditch, or some of you have been seamstresses and you do piecework, you know, and you have to sit there till 3 in the morning. That's hard work. Just to make enough money to make ends meet. That's hard work. Door knocking? Phone canvassing? It's nice and cool in here. It's gorgeous outside. That's not hard work. Digging a ditch. That's hard work. Then he said, our greatest, this is Edison's another quote, he said, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. Think about what I'm saying here. I'm reading his quote. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to just try one more time. Not my words, Edison's words. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. We door knock and we do a 5-5-10? No. We do a 1-1-3 or a 2-1-4 or a none 10 or a 5-5. I'm not doing that. I don't care what Neil says. 10 doors, he's out of his mind. So, Edison's summary of lessons that he wanted every generation to learn. This is what he wrote, that he wanted every generation to learn. And I'd like to back up just a little bit before I say that. What helped him understand the connection between defining success and failure, he really realized early on in his career that the importance of never giving up, of working hard and believing in himself and his ideas. And this is interesting. The fruits of his labor over his career were he did 1,093 patents. 1,093 patents, including the light bulb, the phonograph, the motion picture camera, the printing telegraph, typewriting machines, and part of the system for the telephone. 1,093 of these. Most of these things we can't live without today, can we? Most of this stuff we wouldn't want to live without, let alone can't live without. So the summary of the lessons were, number 1, never give up. Edison, one of his great quotes was that he has 10,000 ways that he now knows you can't light a light bulb. He had 10,000 attempts to get the light bulb right. So somebody said, that's horrible. That's terrible. 10,000 attempts. Well, it's like a giant failure. No, it's not a failure at all, he says. He says, I now know 10,000 ways it doesn't work. Interesting the way you look at things. Hard work. Never giving up. He wrote down, try until you succeed. You don't get the 5-5-10 right the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. You got to figure it out. So what? This works. This works. And it's simple. It's so simple. 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. He said, learn and improve so that you don't fail the next time. Learn and improve. Learn and improve so you don't fail at it the next time. And the last thought was stay focused. The last thought was to stay focused. We have a tendency of getting bombarded by all these different things. I think I've shared with you before. There are other selling systems that one can tie to. Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. Truthfully, I don't know, because I've been doing this for 40 years. but I'm not confused by a multitude of different things. Because this is the selling system I choose, and I choose to teach it to you. It seems to work pretty darn well when you apply it. Okay? When you don't apply it, it's funny, it doesn't work. It's the weirdest thing. It's just, when you apply it, it works. When you don't apply it, it doesn't work. This is so simple. As we end up the year, as we're running through the finish line, there's one more listing you can get. There is. It's out there. I'm convinced of it. One more. There's probably one more sale that you could do. Stay focused, be consistent with your job. One more. One more transaction. And I'm telling you, just heard it again this morning, that somebody did a cash deal over the weekend, and it's going to close before the end of the year. So you could really get a paycheck. It's still possible to get a paycheck, another paycheck, before the end of the year. Listening to Edison. Never give up. Work hard. Try till you succeed. Learn and improve so that you don't fail the next time. Stay focused. And in conclusion, it's the same quote I used last week. I'll use it this week. Don't feel badly how slowly you feel that you are heading towards your goals, or how many roadblocks you find, or how many detours you're forced to take, as long as you're moving forward. As long as you're moving forward. You have a roadblock, go around it. You have a detour, find another way. It's annoying that you have to change what you're doing, so be it. But continue to move forward. Why? Because you're cruising far above anyone else who's afraid to even get started right now. Because they're saying, it's too late. I'll start after the first of the year. There's not enough time. I don't have any leads. I don't have any opportunity. I say to you, not true. You do a 5-5-10 today, tomorrow, for the rest of the week, there's business out there. 5-5-10. There's business out there. Please, focus on running through the finish line for you and your family. Now let's go make it happen. Thank you.